The Newsday continues here on One News Now. I'm Riza Diaz. Labor leader and the presidential aspirant Yodi de Guzman, or Yodi, says talks of the united opposition divided and dispersed it instead. Speaking to us earlier, Yodi said presidential aspirants Senator Manny Pacquiao and Manila Mayor Isko Moreno are not true opposition candidates. But Vice President Leni Robredo's negotiations with them only legitimize their claim to being part of the opposition.
Sila Pacquiao at sila Isko ay hindi talaga totoong opposition. Kaya hindi sila dapat kinakausap. Doon sa kanyang ginawang yon ay parang nakapagtulak pa na magkahiwa-hiwalay yung opposition. Sa halip na ang dapat kinausap ay yung mga consistent. Ito yung mga nagre-represent ng marginalized.
In response to critics who says his presidential bid only splits the votes for Robredo, Yodi said the vice president has no platform on contractualization and rice tariffication issues he stands for.
Wala naman siyang ganung mga statement, wala siyang ganung pagsuporta sa paglaban ng mga manggagawa sa contractualization. Lalo na doon sa rice tariffication law.
Senator Bong Revilla maintains that he has no plans to run for the country's top post. In a text message sent to News 5, Revilla expresses gratitude towards the Lakas-CMD party after being offered to run for president, but he reiterated that he won't gun for the presidency. Recall that Lakas-CMD Secretary General and House Deputy Speaker Prospero Pechay earlier bared that the party was looking to convince Revilla to be their standard bearer. This was after Davao City Mayor Sara Duterte Carpio said no to their offer. In other news, Trade Secretary Ramon Lopez says the alert level system may be implemented in other areas soon. According to Lopez, the government is now looking at Calabarzon, Cebu, and Davao as the next areas for the implementation of the alert level system. The official said these areas are big contributors to the country's GDP. He added that any future granular lockdowns are not expected to have a significant impact on the operations of factories in these production hubs. The trade chief added that in case a commercial establishment becomes a COVID-19 hotspot, work is expected to resume after disinfection and a 1-day to 2-day lockdown. Now, more areas have been placed under GCQ until the end of the month. The IATF approved placing Bulacan, Apayao, and Capiz under the more relaxed restriction starting tomorrow until October 31st. Bulacan and Apayao were initially under MECQ, while Capiz was under GCQ with heightened restrictions. Isabela City in Basilan also shifted to GCQ from modified GCQ due to an increase in COVID-19 cases in the area. Does having a shorter shift at work equate to increased productivity? In Iceland, they are cutting the work week by 5 hours. More details in this Bloomberg report.
The pandemic has thrust work-life balance into the spotlight. Could one solution be a shorter work week with no pay cuts? Let's head to one country that's already experimenting with that, Iceland. Iceland started trialing shorter working hours back in 2015. It ran 2 studies, slashing the work week by 3 to 5 hours with no pay cuts. Well-being dramatically increased and productivity stayed the same. Arna was one of the first to trial shorter hours. She now finishes work at noon every Friday.
On Friday, I will go into the university, or when it's not school, I can cycling or hiking and have more time for myself. It has helped me to spend more time with my children and experience less stress. The public health benefit is that our well-being is much better.
Arna's boss says working less hours has motivated employees to work harder.
Þetta ekkert alveg einfalt. Við styttum fundi og við þurfum að vera svona skipulagðari. Það hefur auðvelda mér að það styttri vinnuvika. Starfsfólki ánægðara og það skiptir miklu máli fyrir mig sem stjórnanda.
And it's not just Iceland. Jobs website ZipRecruiter says the number of job postings that mention a 4-day week has tripled in the past 3 years.
Now, a century after the invention of the weekend, more companies are adding another day. One of those companies giving employees Friday off is Berlin-based tech firm Awin.
Our fundamental belief is that happy, engaged employees that have a healthy work-life balance will produce more, will be more loyal to the company. You know, it's a huge benefit to the company and a great tool to aid retention and for hiring. We operate in some of the most competitive employment markets in the world, so this is one of the critical tools in our arsenal.
In the US, Kickstarter will start a trial next year. Unilever is doing one already in New Zealand. Parliament in Spain has been considering subsidizing companies in the Spanish economy to test a 40 work week. Even Japan, which has a word for death from overwork, we have seen the parliament considering, supporting 40 work weeks with a government-sponsored subsidy.
Check-in is a remote working software company headquartered in Sweden. After it implemented a 4-day week, productivity increased.
Let's now take a quick look at today's other top stories. Typhoon Maring leaves 1.87 billion peso damage to agriculture, affecting over 60,000 farmers and fishermen. Production loss amounted to over 91,000 metric tons. Now, the Agriculture Department vows to provide a 1.5 billion worth of assistance to affected sectors. The Senate Blue Ribbon Committee is set to release an initial report on its probe into the multi-billion peso deal between Pharmally and the Budget Department. The report is expected to delve on the participation of each individual involved in the alleged procurement of overpriced face masks and shields. And crowds of people are flocking to the newly reopened Dolomite Beach in Manila Bay as Metro Manila downgrades to Alert Level 3. The artificial white sand beach is now open from 8 in the morning until 11 a.m. and 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. daily. Now, for more updates, visit News 5, The Philippine Star, and Business World Online. Visit our website, onenews.ph, for more in-depth analysis. You can also catch One News on Signal Play app. Register for a free account now at www.signalplay.com and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. I'm Riza Diaz. Mask on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. We are One News.